Gang, and I have good news for you. Today, the Gospel of John, chapter 6. Jesus went across the Sea of Galilee. A large crowd followed him because they saw the signs he was performing on the sick. Jesus went up on the mountain, and there he sat down with his disciples. The Jewish feast of Passover was near. When Jesus raised his eyes and saw the crowd that was coming to him, he said to Philip, "Where can we buy enough food for them to eat?" He said this to test him, because he himself knew what he was going to do. Philip answered him, 200 days' wages worth of food would not be enough for each of them to have a little. One of the disciples, Andrew, the brother of Simon Peter, said to him, "There is a boy here who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish, but what good are these for so many?" Jesus said, "Have the people recline." Then Jesus took the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed to them who were reclining, and so also with the fish, as much as they wanted. When they had their fill, he said to the disciples, "Gather the fragments left over, so that nothing will be wasted." So they collected them and filled 12 baskets with fragments. What a remarkable, remarkable miracle. And isn't it interesting that Jesus decided, well, I'll just ask Philip, see how his faith is doing. And Philip, is just like, what do you mean? I mean, there's so many people. If we had 200 days of wages, we couldn't do this. We don't have 200 days of wages. And then Andrew's, here's a little kid with some stuff. Well, he's got a snack. What is that going to do for all of us? And then Jesus just says, well, let's everybody just sit down. And he prayed to his Father. And everybody got more than they could eat and enough leftovers. What can that miracle say? Well, some try to say, well, what happened was people just shared. They all had food. Well, that's about as reasonable as saying, if you go to the Super Bowl and you're standing outside, people will just give you tickets because, everybody knows that you were coming. No, this is a miracle to show that God can be depended on. This is a miracle that shows us that Jesus had great faith in the Father and that he truly was the Son of God. This is a miracle to establish in John 6 the connection between this and the Eucharist. We can always have more Jesus if we just want to go to the tabernacle and be with him. My brothers and sisters, I don't know what you're going to do this day. I'm going to spend an hour with Jesus in what we call a holy hour. He's going to make me holy, which is a good thing, and it happens every time. I can go in there and I'm feeling miserable, and I can walk out feeling great. I can go in there feeling great, and I can just be able to contemplate God's greatness and what a gift he is. I don't know what you're going to do this weekend. I'm going to give a retreat. I'm going to be with Jesus, and I'm glad. And I hope you have a great weekend if this is a show you're watching on Friday. And may Almighty God bless you and yours in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.